Quantum Computing, I'm talking about the company, not the technology, is ready to make its move along with many other quantum stocks in what is actually a quite compelling trade setup to potentially significantly higher prices. This is a microcap stock that can easily see significant increases, and today I will share with you the exact setup as well as the exact levels that absolutely need to hold for this setup to remain reliable. Welcome to the trade setup. Close to a year ago, I have shared with you this idea of a 1-2 setup for strong continuation to higher prices. In the case of this stock, I have identified an initial 5-week move to the upside that is built on the base of already a compelling uptrend, and I have been looking for a 3-wave correction into this wide area of support extending down to the 78.6% retracement at $6.40. We had the strong belief that as long as these levels would still be holding, we would be able to look for direct continuation to higher prices within a wave 3 that could have easily led to even more than a 10x in the case of this stock. Well, we have this setup in place, we have seen the reaction from this last level of support, and not only that, we have even built a smaller timeframe confirmation, an initial 5-week move to the upside from a smaller timeframe perspective that would allow us to look with even higher probabilities that this next wave is going to happen. This move is not done alone, and it is actually along with the broader sector expectations to see a rally materialize. The quantum funding has already begun. The cybersecurity aspect has become an extremely important field. Companies and governments are preparing for post-quantum era, for post-quantum cybersecurity needs. Today, and quantum computing, having acquired NewCrypt, has a select opportunity to deliver on government defense contracts, as they are also able to manufacture chips on US soil, as they're also able to deliver on unhackable technology. And this setup speaks for itself. We are looking at a double 1-2 setup. Now, all we have left to decode for this stock is the setup itself, where, as I mentioned, we have the wave 1 up, we have 3 waves down, the support zone has held. This already suggests, with high probabilities, that we will see at least another 5-week move to the upside within possibly just a wave C, but potentially a wave 3. The ideal target for the wave 3 is the 138.2% extension of the wave 1, and from the wave 2 low, which sits right around $6.30, we are looking at $72. Based on the structure of this stock, I definitely see an even more bullish case to be possible, but I believe that is actually enough from a larger time frame perspective. So I go into the smaller time frame where I'm already looking for the next setup. I already have, as I mentioned, the next 5-week move to the upside. I'm already looking for the next 3-wave correction into the yellow area of support, where as long as we do not get a sustained break below the 78.6% retracement at $7.40, we can still favor with high probability continuation to even higher prices within at least another 5-week move to the upside. So already we start to paint a significantly more clear picture where we have relatively small risk compared to the potential of this stock. To be clear, this is not financial advice, this is a highly speculative play, and the company certainly faces risks. There isn't a lack of competition, so this is most definitely not one of the stocks where you simply place a large bet, but it is a very compelling opportunity, as already, if we get a sustained break below the 78.6% retracement in yellow, the likelihood of this entire white setup to work out would have already been significantly damaged. Then if we break below the beginning of this entire move up, below, what is this? Like $6.20, yeah, $6.80 to be more exact. The setup has been invalidated. The entire base that we have from the wave 2 low would need to be readjusted, and the trust for this opportunity to end up working out would have been permanently damaged, likely leading to significantly lower prices. But if we are to consider from the current levels the potential risk of maybe a 30% drop, while potentially looking, in the case of the wave 3, what was it, like $72, already we can notice a quite compelling argument. We are looking at the potential gain of, what is this, like 700%? Quite compelling, and we can already tell We don't need to put a lot into this to get out a significant sum. Now, with all that said, let's go into the internal structure where this move down doesn't seem particularly complete, so there is certainly some risk here that we would see even lower prices. And previously, we have been looking for this to have been a three-wave correction down, something like an A, B, C pattern potentially. And unfortunately, while an impulse would have been my preferred count for this structure, this wave 4 has pushed into the territory of the wave 1. This has invalidated such a possibility, and since I have been considering it rather possible that this would have been an extension of the wave 3, where I would rather need to consider that after it is complete, I would expect yet another fourth and another fifth to complete the entire yellow wave 2, right? Now, this hasn't worked out necessarily as expected, but it rather built what seems to be another 5-wave move to the downside within this structure, which is rather suggesting to me that we may rather need to consider a different pattern to emerge. Now, in terms of strategy, you may not even want to look for a position until we have a complete countdown or until we have a stronger sign of a reversal. Some traders will definitely want to be waiting until we see even more evidence of a bottom, perhaps a break above the previous significant swing highs. We are looking at maybe $13, maybe $13.40, perhaps even $14.40, before once again looking for a position for this stock. Plenty of opportunity would still be present. You would most likely not even need to allow a correction deeper than the beginning of the entire move to the upside. So certainly there are strategies that could work out better, especially considering the difficult structure you have for this stock. But then there is the other vertical where you could already look for a position, as we are currently situated in decently deep levels of support. Now, the exact strategy you choose to employ is entirely up to you. After all, this is not financial advice. And what I'm looking at in the case of this structure is a potential pivot where I do see the possibility of a bottom to form in the relatively near term, where I am personally not too invested in a specific count for this entire correction. I'm pleased to see this as an initial 5-wave move to the upside. I consider it possible to see a bottom as soon as one additional low forms, where I could track this as an A wave down, a B wave within a triangle, right? An A, B, C, D, E. And then this would be the wave C down that would be possibly quite close to a bottom. In this interpretation, the ideal target for the wave C is the 100% extension of the wave A, which would sit roughly at $7.10. I want to reinforce that it doesn't need to get there, certainly, and I would also be watching for the 78.6% extension instead, around $7.80, where I also identify significant structural support from previous lows that have been formed throughout the regular price action of this stock. I am talking about this substantial low that has generated a reversal, right? It has pushed roughly into $7.65. Then this entire region has been difficult to break through. And additionally, this internal wave 4 correction that I'm considering right above $8. I wouldn't be too set on which count ends up fully playing out, but for now, the count that I'm tracking internally within this structure would imply that we have a wave 1 down here, a wave 2 up, a wave 3 down, and potentially the wave 5 would already be unfolding. And in the case of this wave 5, I could be considering that this would have been something like a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and a 5th. And once this internal wave 5 would have a bottom in, we would finally have a full count within this yellow wave 2 potentially. Now, for this idea, within this internal wave 5, the wave 5 of the wave 5, I am looking for a 3-wave pattern, as I primarily have to consider that this orange wave 5 is developing as an ending diagonal. Ultimately, I will reiterate that other interpretations are possible. The correction we have in the case of this stock is not a very simple one, and I would definitely be open to other interpretations as more data becomes available, but primarily, until that happens, I will be focusing on continuation to lower prices, and for me to start looking for more bullish interpretations once more, I would have to first see a break above the resistance area for a potential wave B here, up to $9.16, and then potentially a break even above a wave 4 resistance area, as a reset would currently still remain a possibility. I will definitely be keeping an eye on this, but if you want even more from me, you can check out the Patreon, and for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the content and want to support it directly, check out the channel membership, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.